Hi, everybody. Let's talk a little bit about data and the terminology associated with data. First, we're in an AP statistics class. So what is statistics? Statistics is the science and art of collecting, analyzing, and drawing conclusions from data. And when we collect data, we have individuals and variables. An individual is an object described in a set of data. Individuals could be people, animals, or things. So that's what you're collecting data from. And a variable is an attribute that can take on different values for different individuals. So a variable could be hair color, it could be weight, it could be diameter, it could be um, any sort of information that you can collect from individuals in your data set. Types of variables. There's a couple different types that we're interested in. There's categorical variables, which sometimes are called qualitative. Categorical variables assign labels that place each individual into a particular group called categories. So things like hair color or a sport that you play, things like that, that put you into a particular category would be categorical variables. Next, we have quantitative variables. So let's slide this up a little bit. Quantitative variables. This sounds like the word quantity, right? So quantity means like a numerical value. So quantitative variables take on number values that are quantities. So they have to be counts or measurements. And just a little bit of caution, not every variable that is a number is a quantitative variable. A rule of thumb is that if it makes sense to find the mean of a set of numerical values, then that data set is probably a quantitative variable. So for example, something that is not a quantitative variable, although it's a number, it would be zip code. Because think of zip codes. If you had lots of different zip codes for lots of different people, it doesn't make sense to find the average zip code that somebody has. A zip code is just like another way of identifying a specific location. And then quantitative variables are broken into two different types of subgroups. There's continuous quantitative variables. A continuous variable is a quantitative variable that can take on any value in an interval on a number line. So example, the amount of water in a bucket, right? So say you had a bucket, it could have like, for instance, 1 gallon or half a gallon or 0.75 gallons or zero point 0.8 gallons or zero point 0.6 gallons. And there's no limit to the amount of water that can be in the bucket. It can be any amount from 0 to whatever, however big the bucket is. And then the difference between that and discrete is a discrete variable is a quantitative variable that takes a fixed set of possible values with gaps between them. So for example, the number of students in an AP statistics class, right? So you could have 20 students in an AP statistics class, or you could have 25, or you could have 24, or 32, or 19, or 10, right? But you couldn't have like you couldn't have 10.5 students or 21.2 students in an AP statistics class. So there's gaps between the possible numbers in the data set. And then a distribution is all the variables a variable can take on and how often it takes on those variables. All right, so that's it for now. If you go back to the Google Sheet, you can click on this link, and that just gives you a 2-minute video example of some of these ideas.